What's going on, everybody? This is my first video of my 2024 Chevy Silverado 2500 HD. The reason I'm making this video today is I'm getting ready to install a Cognito Leveling Kit on this truck, and I want to do a pre-video with some pre-measurements, and then we'll compare just the overall look and the measurements after the leveling kit's installed. One thing I first want to note is I put Falken Wildpeak AT4s on this truck about 40 miles after owning it. They are a 295/70 by 18. According to Falken, they are a true 35-inch tire, as noted right here, by 12. A few things I read online is people are wondering, hey, can I fit a 35-inch tire on a stock HT truck? You can. I've driven it for about 13,000 miles like this now and have had not a single issue. I love the way it looked. I had to get rid of those highway tires that came stock on this truck. I just think it's such a nicer look. So now my next step is to put the leveling kit on it, and I just want to make it look a little more aggressive. One thing I do want to say is I do feel like GM from the factory is a pretty level truck. And for that, I plan on also using a 1-inch block in the rear to really just help not even level it out, but just give it a little more of an aggressive stance. The Cognito kit I got was the Tubular. That's going to give me about 2.5 inches in the front. The reason I went with the Tubular is I just didn't want to cut into a brand new truck. With the sheet metal series or the SM series, you have to cut the service perch out, and I just really didn't want to do that. I do tow a lot with this truck. I have a 14,000 pound dump trailer, and so for that I also run airbags on this truck. Right now there's 5 pounds in the rear. I found that for every 5 pounds, it lifts the back of the truck roughly 1/4 inch. Sure, I could, run 15, 20 pounds in the rear at all times to achieve the lift height I need in the rear to really make this truck give the truck the stance that I want. But if you've ever ridden with airbags, if there's no trailer on the back and you have roughly 20 pounds in it, it's just a really stiff ride, stiffer than the stock leaf spring pack. So I think in addition to running the 1-inch block in the rear and the 5 pounds, maybe 10 pounds in the bags, it should give me the rake that I want. And then obviously if I have a heavy trailer, I'll just put more air in it, and then I'll still be able to maintain a nice level truck with the aggressive stance I'm looking for. So like roughly I'd say I'm looking to gain 1.5 to 2 inches total front and rear. And I think it's going to look good with 35s. Obviously down the road, can I fit 37s? Would I like to fit 37s? Yeah. Do I need it now? Absolutely not. Because I also don't need to sacrifice the fuel mileage. All right, so we'll start on the front passenger seat here. I'm going to go straight through the hub and to the bottom of the fender. I mean, we're roughly 40.5. Okay, so if we go to the back here, and again, this is with 5 pounds in the bags, but I'll make sure we leave 5 pounds in even with the blocks. We're at roughly 41.75, maybe a hair over, so maybe 41 13/16. So this is 41.75 as well. And then lastly, driver front. Come on now. We're at again just right around 40.5. So again, stock height.
All right, so here's what's going down on install today. We got the front shocks, which are, like I said, they're 1.5 to 2.5 inch front lift, and then the rear shocks, even though we're going with the 1-inch blocks, we got it for 1.5 to 3 inch in the rear. Excited to get going.
All right, here's a comparison between the stock Rancho and the extended Fox. A little bit longer. So it's a pretty even with each other, and you can see it might be, I don't know, 1 inch longer. While we're at it, let's check this out. Don't mind the undercoating. Got to take care of the underside here in Vermont. Yeah, it's trash. 13,000 miles on these. All right, we got the first side done. It was actually really easy. Really, really easy. Probably did it in an hour and 15 minutes. Everything worked like a dream. Probably shouldn't be saying this because I still have to do the other side, and now I'm gonna jinx myself, but looks pretty good. Just taking a quick video to show you guys stock CV axle and tie rod angle. Pretty flat. We'll see what happens after 2.5 inches up. Finishing up the install, and wanted to show you the last rear shock compared to stock before installed. So again, about an inch longer, nothing crazy. Let's get it on and I'll show you how it looks. All right, y'all, 2 lines away. Here she is. Roughly the same vantage point. So we went about 2 inches in the front and put the 1-inch block in the rear. I'm pretty happy with the stance. Not sure how well you can tell on camera. It definitely made a difference. It's nothing crazy. I wasn't going for crazy. But I think overall it turned out pretty nice. Definitely sitting level. So I'll show you in here. We got the Cognito and Fox combo. No cutting, that's a beautiful thing. CV and tie rod, not too bad. Not too bad of an angle. I actually look forward to going back to my video and confirming that it's not too bad. If we need to get a diff drop, we will. I don't know if anyone's noticed. I haven't really found any diff drops for the 24-25. There's the bags. I just wonder if they're required or not, if people are finding a need for them. So you can see the blocks in there. Maybe you can see the blocks. Yeah, they're in there. There's that beautiful shock. Yeah, right underneath the leaf spring, 1-inch block. Overall, I think it looks pretty clean with the 35s. And in the future, if I want, I should be able to fit 37s, which isn't a bad thing either. I'm trying to think if I wanted to say anything further about this. Install was a breeze. Honestly, I had the toughest time I had was fitting the clamp on the torsion keys to compress them. For whatever reason, on the passenger side, there's the exhaust right there. It kind of gave me a more difficult time than I would have liked. But other than that, front end, even the rear blocks, they were a breeze. I'd maybe say 4 to 5 hours total on the whole thing. Man, it's a beautiful thing. So there was a guy on YouTube who mentioned that if you have the 35s on an 18-inch wheel, that the upper ball joint of the Cognito's rubbed, and I found that they do at full droop. I'm gonna have to get some wheel spacers. It's tight. It's really close to the tire. Let's go look at the other side. It's close. So at full droop, I want to say, if I remember correctly, I was around 12 3/4 inches from the fender liner, or from the fender trim there. And so per Cognito instructions, you subtract 3, and that's really where your ride height should be. So let's just say 9.5, and that's exactly where I'm at now. And That was with the, that brought me to a total of 2 inches of lift. I don't know if anyone else has noticed this. I mean, I don't know. I guess why I'm saying this is I don't know how people are getting 3 inches lift, 2.5 to 3 inches of lift out of the Cognito Leveling Kit. Are they limiting their droop? Maybe. Kind of sketched me out. I didn't want to. And like I said, at full droop, when the truck was on stands, the tire was rubbing the upper control arm ball joint. So I definitely want to limit that. In the future, I'll get some 1/4 inch wheel spacers, 3/8 wheel spacers, and then it will never be an issue. The beauty is too, if I ever want to crank up the torsion keys in the future, I can. But I think right now, I'm personally pretty happy with it. Hope you guys like the video. I'm just trying to create more content around these 25 trucks, the refreshes. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Let me know if you have any questions or what you think in the comments. Shame on me, I almost forgot about measurements. I'm not going to leave you hanging on that. So let's just take a look here just to confirm. So again, this is rough, y'all. This is rough. We're just over, or right at 42 on the front passenger, rear passenger. We are at roughly 42 7/8, 42 3/4, right in there. Driver rear, we are at roughly 42.5, just under 42.5, 42 3/8 it looks like on the camera. And about 42, just under 42, 41 and no, that's 42. I know on the camera it looks less. Maybe it's 41 and 15/16, but overall you get the gist. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you have questions.